Okay, hello. How are you? Good? Good. Copenhagen is, I don't know, top three city for me. Absolutely love being here. Have lots of friends who live here, work here. You know, it's just so perfect. You're on your bikes. You're all so attractive. Even the electric sockets are smiling back at me in the morning. It's a wonderful, wonderful place to be. So thank you, Martin. Thank you, Thomas. Those guys have set up the business context fantastically. I want to slap us around, tickle your brains. I want to be talking about the insanity of the world that we're living in from a technological, political, social, behavioral point of view. And we have some fantastic speakers. We're here with our partners Infomedia. We have Ricky from the Brandwatch team, Charlotte from the Brandwatch team, who are doing sessions later that will be much more practical. This isn't practical at all. This is to remind us, as grown-ups, as professionals, what context and world we're operating in. Okay? Let's do it. Big green button. Brandwatch. Who's heard of Brandwatch? It doesn't matter if you have or haven't, I just want to get a quick poll. Okay, it's my job to make sure you've heard of Brandwatch. So in the future, hopefully more of you will have heard of us. We are the world's leading social intelligence company. We're headquartered in a cute little city in the UK called Brighton. Anyone been to Brighton? We have lots of language schools there. It's full of Swedish kids every summer with their yellow backpacks wandering around, taking up the roads, filling up the buses. It's great, come and visit us there. We also have 8 offices worldwide. Sydney is the latest. I did 2.5 years in New York, Singapore. Wherever you want to do business, we're there and we have amazing clients. Now, our CEO and founder is an entrepreneur. And his mission, what comes from deep within him, and he's not the kind of person who walks around writing mission statements, is that we are creating a new kind of intelligence. We're harnessing the massive computing power of the 21st century. We're applying it to this fascinating, constant, rich tapestry of human conversations because we want to give you and your clients the answers that they're looking for at the very second that they need them. So we're there to help you make better decisions. We bought recently or merged with our biggest competitor, Crimson Hexagon, so that's a best of 2 companies coming together. We also have a business called BuzzSumo, which some of you may know, which is great for helping you drive your content marketing, figuring out what does the competition look like, what are great titles, themes for me to be writing on. And then my most exciting addition to the family is Curiously, which is a mobile survey app, so that you can instantly find out whether people prefer green tea, white tea, oolong tea, don't like tea, tea with milk in, and in seconds you can use the programmatic ad network to get that question out to people. Anyway, no more of that. If you like the ideas, I'm drawing them from a book that I wrote a while ago called Culture Shock. If you're choosing between buying the book and coming to the Brandwatch booth and talking to Brandwatch, forget the book, come and talk to Brandwatch. So what is going on in the world? What is the context that our consumers, that our friends, our family are living in every day? There's this saying, and no one's really sure if it's a real saying or not, but it's one of those things that kind of gathers momentum. Apparently there's a Chinese curse, and the curse is, may you live in interesting times. So it sounds nice, but there's a kind of hidden payoff underneath. What do we mean by interesting times? Well, the good news is you and I are definitely living in interesting times. We've got these absolute fucking idiots in the UK desperately driving a whole country off a cliff. Excellent work, chaps. Keep waving those flags. We've got this tyrant in charge of the most powerful nation on earth. Like literally, this guy has the codes to nuclear bombs. Luckily, he won't be able to hold the code in his brain between reading it and punching it in. But this is pretty damn interesting. From a technological point of view, It feels like what was futuristically imagined in sci-fi is present in our lives and in your pocket right now. We're live streaming war. But not just live streaming war, we have emoji reactions. Just think about that. Like, isn't that crazy? And I'm not commenting on it, good or bad. I present this just as a fact. This is the world that we are operating in. There are lots of great videos on YouTube. My two favorites are the little girl, and you may have seen it, the little girl with a magazine in front of her, a paper magazine. And she is going like this on the pictures. Because her modality, her way of interacting with the world is not paper. It's pinch, swipe, drag. Here's a monkey wearing a VR headset. And it looks exactly like a human wearing a VR headset. Just going, oh my God, this is super weird, man. This is coming to a place near us. If you have AirPods, you will be part of, you can already feel how a more discreet technology that you wear is subtly becoming a present thing in your life. Like it starts to feel annoying to make a phone call without them. And these are tiny little steps. I know some of you like AirPods, whatever. But these are tiny little steps towards a wearable, immersed future. And we can shout at objects now. We can say, Alexa, do this. And Alexa will do stuff. We have cars that can drive themselves. Thankfully, lots of things are getting better. So I love this chart. Every time I feel bad about the world, I have a look at it. Child mortality going down massively. Yes. What else we got? Literacy, people able to read, going up. Yes. There's a lot of good things happening. Actually, globally, the betterment of the world for the average citizen is very positive over the last 50 years. Very, very positive indeed. So we have never been smarter as a race. We have never been more educated as a race. And we have definitely never been more connected. As Martin and Thomas asked you earlier, you can even connect to the people nearby. So we are, in theory, in great shape. Why is everything going wrong? We're living in these bubbles, which is definitely part of what's interesting. If you haven't seen the TED Talk about, filter bubbles, please watch it. But those of you that have heard this concept will know that the benefits of recommendation engines and algorithms that want to get us to interact more frequently is that they will show us more of what we want to see. And we can end up in an echo chamber where the messages and news and music or whatever the thing is, the videos, is more of the same, more of the same. I'll talk about Spotify in a minute. But you know yourself, if you use Spotify, that if you get on a bit of a tip and you start listening to certain kind of music for a while, suddenly Spotify is like, I've got more, I've got more, I've got more. And suddenly, that's what Spotify thinks you like. And so whilst we're never more connected, sometimes it can feel like we're never further apart. So I want to take you through 5 things before I get off stage. And they are 5 characteristics of the here and now that I think are worth paying attention to when it comes to the art of social, when it comes to really understanding what's happening with people, because that's what we're about at Brandwatch. We're about understanding people, behavior, and therefore helping find the right answers. So number 1, it's a more visual web than it's ever been. This button isn't big enough for me. I'm kind of got thumbs and I'm using the little keyboard, and how much of your communication now is using emojis? So I think we're bringing a really interesting visual language to text communication. There's a new way of communicating. This is the top emoji reactions that I use in Slack. So you can see love, You can see this is my girlfriend's dog, 100, he's very emphatic. I like the tractor, that's when I really like something, I put a tractor on it because it's kind of like we'll talk about eggplant in a minute. This is an absolute Brandwatch legend. So if you did a really good job, you're an absolute Brandwatch legend, ABL, facepalm, all the good stuff. But you have your own. So Adam, who's in the audience here at the back, here, Kelly, who's one of our team, saying kudos to Jesse and Adam BS for great work with Visit Scotland. And you can see all these crazy cultural artifacts. The choices that we make and the meaning in emojis is actually way more interesting. Like a smiley is great and a thumbs up's great, but I'm interested in the other ones. Like, what do your communities and your friends mean when you send a tractor or you send, I don't know what you send, but what is it? What is the thing that you're actually meaning? Eggplant. I mean, I think young people are going to grow up. I don't know what they're thinking. Like, have they ever even seen one of these? I think they know what this means, but it looks a bit weird to me. So when you look at how millennials, who are kind of old people, let's face it, millennials are old. You're all millennial. You're old. You're boring. Forget about it. Gen Z are the cool people now. They're the young ones. And they communicate with images. That is their default. They communicate with images, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Snapchat, whether it's WeChat, whatever the technology is, emojis, they communicate with images. And so that's why at Brandwatch we have image analytics. We'd love to demo that with you later today. It's a very important part of the toolkit that you're able to derive meaning from images, not just words. This article I saw yesterday, this is mind-blowing to me. It's small but mind-blowing, which is that young people are now recreating Facebook on Instagram. So the incoming class at Virginia Tech, coming in at Georgia, coming in at Harvard, that students are setting up profiles and saying, send me your photo and you can be on the Facebook for this new year. So you can meet your roommate. You will already know who your classmates are and who that's already happening. So people are taking what they want and recreating it in new networks, but in very visual ways. And I love this. Just like Martin said, we need to be very conscious about the global landscape. There's an arrogance in the West, which is that we are the innovators. When it comes to digital, that is total bullshit. The innovation, if any of you have Chinese colleagues or friends, for example, what you can do in China with your phone compared to what you can do here, where you have an integrated network of payments, car renting, friends, messaging, all in one place. And I love the way this headline sums it up. We need to flip where we're looking. Facebook on course to be the WeChat of the West. That's a nicer way. That's a kind of humbling way of recalibrating things. So let's look at what's happening there if we're interested in trends and what's going to come next in terms of behavior. So that was some stuff just to get your brain going on the topic of visual. Secondly, I want to talk about robots. Yeah? Let's talk about robots. I love robots. Who's got a thing that they can talk to in their home? Give me a show of hands. Oh, you don't like them over here. Creepy surveillance. So, I actually think this is really interesting. I think this is early stage, whatever, but I think this is genius from Amazon in particular because it's frictionless. So I use mine in the kitchen, and I'm constantly setting timers for different food about when it's going to be ready. And that, to me, is the killer app. Plus, I can say, turn the music up, turn the music down, pause, while I've got my hands dirty, occasionally cooking. So that is what's useful for me. So it's frictionless. It's totally frictionless. And when you start using voice, and I think we're all going to start using voice with Siri and whatever the other ones are called, like voice is frictionless. It takes away the typing. And that is simple but important to pay attention to. Secondly, I think this is going to become the operating system of the home. By Amazon inserting themselves at this layer, they become the interface, the UI for what you do around your home. Turn the temperature up, turn the temperature down, open the door, let the dog out, order some more food, tell the children to be quiet, whatever. But we'll be giving instructions through this to other things. So that for Amazon, from a business strategy point of view, I think this is really interesting about the OS layer in the home. And thirdly, just simply, it's the shopping list. I build up my shopping list. As things run out in the kitchen, I'm like, Alexa, add peanut butter to the shopping list. You've already got peanut butter on the shopping list. Okay, thank you, Alexa. She tells me that all the time. Peanut butter should be permanently on the shopping list. So I think that is interesting. I think this is interesting. This is a parking app, a parking ticket app built by a guy, a college student, where it takes you through a question and answer like a chatbot. So it's taking you through a question and answer to challenge your parking ticket. Was it hard to understand the signs? No, not really. Let me see, what else could be the problem? Did you have to park quickly for some reason? Nope. So these are like human answers, conversational text. Just a few more questions. Do you think the parking bay was too small? Yes, way too small. If a parking bay is legally too small, it is unreasonable to ticket drivers, yada, yada. Click here to generate your appeal. $4 million in refunded parking tickets through a conversational interface. And I think this is the future of health in some way. This is the future of lots of customer service issue, is just quick Q&A bots to do the hard work for us. One of these two is terrifying, and the other one is a sex robot. That guy, the look in that guy's face will haunt me forever. He's looking into my soul. So that's coming anyway. What about DeepMind? So DeepMind is an artificial intelligence bought by Google, headquartered in London. You've heard about the Chinese game of Go. It's like the ultimate strategy game. It's like chess for people who are like really, really, really smart. Like chess is for wimps, Go is for adults. DeepMind created AlphaGo Zero, and on day 0, they gave it just the rules of the game Go. No training data, just literally, dear robot, this is how to play the game, figure it out. You see here the trajectory. It has no prior knowledge of the game and only the basic rules. This is how quickly it's learning and developing. 3 days in, surpasses the abilities of AlphaGo Lee, the version that beat the world champion. And you can just see it, it's learning on its own. 21 days, reaches the level of AlphaGo Master, the version that defeated 60 top professionals online, and it just keeps going. This is a self-training artificial intelligence. When I was reading about this first victory over the world champion describes this one move, move 37, as exquisite. He didn't say like clever or powerful or whatever. Like, he didn't use robot words. He used artist words. This intelligence made a move on the board that the people in the world of Go were like, that sends chills down my spine. It's incredible, and it's teaching itself. I mentioned Spotify. Algorithms are increasingly returning to us what they think we want. And that is incredibly useful. I love Discover Weekly. Every week, I get a fresh list of music to listen to that might meet my tastes. It's like the ultimate concierge, a sommelier. Sir, would you like some of this? Yes, I would. Give it to me, robot. That's good. What about this? So, you and me and everyone here, we are now programming what happens when a self-driving car sees humans in the road. Okay? That's what we're doing. Me and you, you're doing it with me. We're programming this. On the right-hand side is a cliff, like a big drop into the sea, into the ocean. And here in the middle of the road are humans. So in A, does the car, which belongs to me, does it drive into the big group of humans, or does it kill the human on the side? Up to you. Which one do you want to go for? Big group of humans, one human. Just shout it out. One human, thank you. And you too, thank you. Let's go to C. Big humans, big group of humans, or drive off the cliff and kill me, the owner of the car. Which is the right decision to make? Kill me! Which decision are they going to program? I don't know. B is the hardest one. It's either me or the guy in the middle of the road. Someone is going to make this decision. Like, I'm not even kidding you. This is a decision. This is a live ethical debate. Third thing that we need to talk about is speed. In a networked world, change will never be this slow again. We are moving faster and faster. This is an ancient tweet back in the early days of Twitter. This guy worked for the LA Fire Department. And what he realized as a guy in the LA Fire Department was this incredible collective intelligence, a real-time network that alerted him and his team to fires in Los Angeles. That is cool. We know from our clients at Brandwatch that if they have a shooting in store, they hear it through social quicker than through the internal mechanisms. If the baggage carousel at an airport breaks, they hear it faster through social than through internal processes. The network moves faster than the organization, right? And this American fighter pilot, John Boyd, who then became a military strategist, he, from his time flying fighter jets, realized that quite simply, the faster you could move through this loop, the more likely you are to live or die. So you basically, right now, you here today are observing what's going on. You're looking at the screen, you're looking at this weird guy up in front, you're orienting yourself, you're remembering that your bum is sat down or you're stood up, you can see around you to the left, the right, you can feel the temperature on your skin. You decide what to do. Oh, I'm going to listen a bit more. And then you act. Okay, I'll have a sip of coffee, I'll look at my phone, I'll keep watching this weird guy. You go through this loop constantly, but when you're flying fighter jets, the ability to process through that loop faster than the other person is your advantage. And when we think about business strategy, when we think about boardrooms, when we think about winning and losing in a networked world, this is one of the challenges that we have. That things are at speed and crises happen at speed and stories are made up at speed and we have to act at speed. And that is what we're about at Brandwatch. And I think things like Amazon Prime are training all of us as consumers to expect instant delivery. I love this tweet. Amazon order placed 1858. Amazon order delivered 0806. At this rate, it won't be long until the delivery happens just before the order. It's like, knock, knock, open the door. There's the item. Oh my God! I was about to order that. Weird. Like fourth, and the fifth one is really quick. Truth. The internet isn't really a technology, it's a belief system, a philosophy about the effectiveness of decentralized, bottom-up innovation. I love that. How many of you have used Wikipedia in the last 5 weeks? Like almost everyone. You love Wikipedia. How many of you have clicked on this little tab here, up there, View History? If you click on View History, this is what you see. A rich tapestry of thousands or hundreds of thousands of edits. It's just like Google Docs, but it has tapped human knowledge to create one of the greatest online assets of our time. Everyone here had used it in the last 5 weeks. And it is from us, but from thousands of edits. I use reviews to make decisions. I chose to go to Cap Horn last night because it was the nicest, closest restaurant that had Scandinavian food that was open. I didn't follow the route that the map suggested because that's fucking stupid. But I did rely on the reviews of complete strangers. They might be psychopaths, they might be liars, but I relied on them to put food in my stomach. So we are living in a time where truth is really interesting. On the one hand, we're harnessing truth from the crowd. On the other hand, this is not fake news, it's alternative facts. I have some alternative facts. I love that. It's just so sassy. Okay, I can't wait for my kids to say it. Dad, I have some alternative facts. Yeah, no you don't. I'm going to skip over this in the spirit of time, but like defining what fake news is really hard actually. It's really, really hard because it becomes so subjective. So we have some fascinating challenges. You are going to face this in your role. Social is a conduit for this. It's about truth, fake news, what is real, what is not, what is narrative, what is subjective, influencers. And then to finish, maybe more squarely in the world of marketing return on investment, I just want to talk about closed loops. This person is Dr. Byron Sharp. If you work in marketing, I recommend you read his book. If you haven't already, it's called How Brands Grow. Anyone read Dr. Byron Sharp's book? Cool. 3, 4. A late one there. It's a great book. Basically, it says that long-term, constant awareness is the way that brands grow. Like, advertising works is basically his strapline, and he can prove it. And I think that's really interesting because talking to one of our clients, a C-level exec at top 5 global agency, he was like, measurement, it's a shit show. So we've got some really interesting, these are opportunities for us to walk into, for Infomedia, for Hootsuite, for Brandwatch, for everyone here today. We can walk into that gap and we can close the loop between what this person is saying and what this person is saying. That is our opportunity. I love this example from the Brandwatch client base. It's a famous ice cream brand. They believed internally, this is one of the world's most admired marketing organizations with the most money. They believed internally that people buy ice cream when it's sunny, that people buy ice cream when it's on the end of the aisle in the supermarket and it's in your face, and that people buy ice cream when you give a discount on the price. What they did was they used social data from Brandwatch, point of sale data from their retailers, and weather data to find that that was complete nonsense. They found that actually the price, the blue line, would go up and down with discounts, and the sales would just carry on trucking along in the green line. So they were just giving money away on discounts. Secondly, the purple line was conversations on the days of the week, the conversations about ice cream. On Wednesday, Thursday, people were saying, I have had such a shit week. I'm going to smash a tub of ice cream this weekend and watch Killing Eve, and that is all I'm doing. So people were planning it. It was like murder. They're like, I'm going to murder that ice cream. And then the actual point of sale data is the orange line. So this was profound, but it was about binding together different data sources to make smart, strategic marketing decisions. So if you want a glimpse about how all of this comes together and some of the topics to talk to our team about, that is the kind of conversation we would love to have with you. So I have talked to you about visual, about robots, about speed, about truth, and lastly about closed loops. I'm very grateful to Infomedia. Thank you very much. And please, please come and talk to us at the Brandwatch team about how we work with Infomedia. Thank you.